Mr. Pitt, we need you to go out there and find the cure for the zombies. Nope. Not gonna help you. I need to protect my family. Okay, well, if you're not gonna help the entire human race, then we're gonna send you off of this safe boat. Oh, oh but... Fine. World War Z, released in 2013 and is directed by Mark Forster, who has also directed such films like Finding Neverland, Monsters Ball, Stranger Than Fiction, Christopher Robin, and Quantum of Solace. And this film is starring Brad Pitt. It is the Brad Pitt show. Brad Pitt is on screen. Brad Pitt, Brad Pitt, Brad Pitt. There may be a total of a minute of Brad Pitt not being on screen. This is Brad Pitt's movie. Former UN field agent Jerry Lane is having a lovely day with his wife and 2 daughters. However, while stuck in traffic in Philadelphia, Jerry starts to notice that something is going on, and that something is a zombie breakout. And after a very thrilling chase, Jerry is able to get his family safely onto a naval ship because he is an important person, so they will send out a helicopter just for him because he's Brad Pitt. But then Brad Pitt is sent back out into the field because, again, he is a former ex-UN field agent, and he is the only one who can go out and research, find patient 0, and see exactly how this disease started and how they can cure it. This premise would have done so well, like in the 80s and in the 90s. Put Jean-Claude Van Damme, Seagal, Schwarzenegger, Stallone in this premise, and it would have been the exact same thing. One man who is the only guy who can save the thing because he's the one guy and there's no one else. Now, I know this film was supposed to be released in 2012, but this thing went through a major overhaul, in particular in the 3rd act, because things were just not working out with what was in the script. You go on its Wikipedia page, you will see just long paragraphs of so-and-so wrote it, and then it wasn't working, so so-and-so was called in to rewrite it, and then another rewrite, and then another rewrite, ballooning this film's budget up to some astronomical number that really it should never have gotten. And if it wouldn't have gotten that huge ballooned up budget, then this film, I think, would have been a little bit more successful, allowing the film studio to go, okay, you know what, we're gonna greenlight a sequel now. Because from my understanding, there was supposed to be a sequel, or there was talks of a sequel with David Finch attached to direct the thing, which is awesome. One of the best directors working today. Of course, yes, you want to direct World War Z 2? Absolutely. But then I read that, oh, the thing was canceled about 2 years ago, even before the pandemic hit, which, actually, speaking of the pandemic, this is not a movie I would recommend watching during this time, because it can be very triggering and very jarring seeing this disease kind of break out in major cities and seeing just the panic and the hustle and the confusion and the chaos that knowing this disease is out there and not knowing how to fight it or where to go to protect yourself. That's pretty much how myself and my wife felt last year when this whole COVID-19 thing happened. We really had no idea what to do, how to go about protecting ourselves. We would wipe down our food when it came in from the grocery store because we didn't know what this disease was or how to fight it. And that's one of the best things about this film. It showcases the chaos and the just unknowingness of a situation like this if it were to actually happen on this planet. Which that's been the thing for like the last 20 years, just thinking about the zombie apocalypse. You know, who amongst your friends would you want to have in your group when the zombie apocalypse happened? Or where would you go? Would you have bunkers? Have you been stocked up? This is a question that a lot of people have asked themselves, hypothetically, what would happen in a zombie apocalypse in the last 20 years? And then pop culture, social media has just been blown up with the zombie concept. Zombieland, Zombieland 2, The Walking Dead, iZombie, all of these zombie shows and films and books, just so much on this concept of the dead rising, or the undead infecting others with a bite or a blood transfusion or something. And that's the best aspect of this film. The first 15-20 minutes is just pure chaos, and watching this family go from point A to point B, it is thrilling. I was shocked just at how much my heart was beating and how much forward I was sitting on the sofa. Even though I knew what was going to happen because I have seen this film before, I found myself really caring and just being like, oh my god, just run to the freaking helicopter, just go! So it's the atmosphere, it's the aesthetic, it's the talking about this global chaos pandemic thing. Whenever we get characters in planes or in helicopters, we're always looking at a bird's eye view at a city that has just gone to shit with explosions and you see smoke in the background. The aesthetic of this movie is awesome. When you get to the characters, it's Brad Pitt, who's grown out his hair just a little bit because it's Brad Pitt. And this character, Jerry, that he plays he's our protagonist, he's our main person that we are following. He's a freaking jackass. Supposedly, and the people on the naval battleship say it and proclaim it to him like, you're the only guy, you were one of the best field agents from the UN, and then you left. Well, now we're gonna make you go back out there. And Jerry's like, no, I don't want to. I got my family here. We're good. Forcing the captain to say, okay, you don't want to help? Then bye-bye, we're gonna get you off this thing. Only then does Jerry go, oh, okay, fine, I'll help you and move the story along. I understand there is a trope of a reluctant hero, but this is like a child tantrum-throwing heroic character. It just makes him so unlikable. You're only doing this because, you don't want your family to be kicked off of the ship, because that's a nice, safe place. Even if you are kicked off the ship, you could probably survive, but, the whole let's save the planet and save people and figure out exactly what's going on, that's, you don't give a shit about that. Okay. So, I guess if you can get past that aspect of the character, I guess you can go along with him. But to me, this character is 100% forgettable. All I remember is that Brad Pitt plays him. And it's Brad Pitt. What are you gonna do? Again, the biggest achievement that this film has is the aesthetic and making this film seem global. That this is happening everywhere, not just centrally located to America or to one particular country. They travel to India, they go to Jerusalem, they travel to, I think they go to Australia? Maybe they don't. Maybe I'm just making that up. In the book, do they go to Australia? I don't know, I've never read the thing, and from what I gather from just a brief plot synopsis, the book is almost completely different from this movie. For anyone out there who has read the book, can you confirm that, or is this thing similar? The movie does make me want to read the book, so kudos to that, it succeeded. But I will also commend this film on their way of showing the zombies and the undead. Whenever we have these zombie films, Day of the Dead, anything from George A. Romero, Walking Dead, anything like that, one of the main things that audiences like to focus on are the zombies themselves and how they look and how they move. Each zombie world, zombie story has their own, rules as to what the zombie disease does. Sometimes the zombies are completely dumb and they walk very slowly. In other tales about zombies, these zombies run at full speed and they're very, very fast and they infect you like within seconds. This film deals with the latter of those two. These zombies are aggressive and they are super fast and just shows how fast a virus like this can spread once it's let out. And I like how this film doesn't linger on these zombies. When we see them, it's from afar, or if we do have close-ups of them, it's for like a second. Because at the points that we do linger on the zombies for an extended period of time, say like 10 or 15 seconds, the CGI looks not good. There is really nice makeup on the zombie from the final act of the film, at the very end scene. But when they're in Jerusalem and all these zombies are climbing over the walls and coming through the alleyways, sometimes we linger on the zombies a little long there, and you can tell, oh, look, that's unfinished. But the majority of this film uses very quick cuts. It's a master in editing of how just chaotic this whole situation would be and trying to outrun this zombie apocalypse, this pandemic, this virus that's right behind. The movie is very kinetic. We always feel like we're moving. This film is under 2 hours. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like this thing just flies by. I guess there is an extended version of it. I have not watched that. The version I'm reviewing here is a theatrical version that, honestly, I really, really enjoy, and I wish we would have gotten a sequel because I think this world, these characters, maybe not so much Brad Pitt, but really this whole environment, this whole world with all these rules, lends itself to a really nice kind of a trilogy, or a really nice long told out story. Maybe eventually we'll get one, probably not though. I'm gonna give World War Z 3.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I am above average.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next, so let's take a look. Brooklyn! I think that's the Best Picture, not winner, but it was nominated for Best Picture. I remember seeing just Ronan's face on the poster. And she's like sailing in from Staten Island to New York City. I don't know, I've never watched this movie before. It does leave me asking the question though, where Brooklyn at? Do you know? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? So guys, if you've seen World War Z, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Brooklyn. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.